All right. Woohoo! It is May. How in the world, my friends, is it May already? Like, I remember it being December, the week of giving, which is already coming up here in a few more months again. And we were talking about the 10-year anniversary party that we're having in June, which is like a month away. How is it already a month away? Like, this is insane, crazy talk, all kinds of fun, excitement. Welcome to May, I guess. So, Trail Ready Tuesday, May edition. I'm very excited to be in the office tonight. And we are going to run down full-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, which also like spins us into lockers too, which is pretty exciting. So I am excited to go through all of that process with you. Plus, I want to talk about what? Shopping. Of course, I want to talk about shopping. It is Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day month, is what we call it. Mother's Day month of May. And we're all a mom at heart, right? Like, there goes Piston walking by. You don't have to have a kid of sorts in order to be an impactful woman in somebody's life. And that's what a mom is. Like, so many people can be moms, including yourself. You can buy something for yourself too. Isn't that how this goes? So I put together for the first time ever a list, an Amazon list of 13 things that you could purchase and have some fun with. Of course, the number one thing on the list is BF Goodrich tires because, well, safety first. And so we love BFG, we love safety, but it goes all the way down. I should have brought it in. It goes all the way down to a cat that you put your ice cream in. I know. I got one from my brother for Christmas, which was amazing. It was so much fun. It's so cute. And so I had to add it to the list. So there's the Amazon shopping link. That's the big one. That is our Bauer Media store where you guys can go and check out all the different lists I have. But you'll see the one that says Mother's Day 2026. Are you guys Amazon shoppers? That's what I want to hear first. Like, let's get into the chat. Are you Amazon shoppers? Do you like to shop direct? Like, what's your preferred method of shopping so that I can understand how I can help you be successful too? So also, shopping wise, you guys have been on our store lately. So it's offroadexposed.shop is our store. And it has a lot of opportunity. It's not just ladies stuff, it's guys stuff as well. It's Bauer Media brands focused, right? So we have all the Bauer Media stuff, we have all the Ladies Offroad Network stuff, but we also have I'm Not Just a Girl stuff. I'm Not Just a Girl is my clothing line that I started 15 years ago. Okay, everybody, type in 15. Like, how rad is that? 15 years. I know. Just like time goes by so fast. So the reason I started this clothing line is because back in the day, 15 years ago, there was some other ladies clothing lines that were out there. But to be honest, one, they didn't fit. So I'm not the most petite girl as we've all known and seen. And so it was hard. Like, it didn't even fit me. And I was an extra large, extra large. But I'd have to buy like a 2X if I could even find something that was a 2X that would fit. And then it'd be like dirty bitch and all the negative, vulgar stuff. Not that I can't be crazy and have fun like that, but at the same time, like, my 60-year-old mom at the time isn't going to wear something like that. So 15 years ago, I said, we can do better. We can do better, ladies. We can do better for ourselves. And so I started I'm Not Just a Girl, which is a tough girl line. There's a lot of cool designs, not all off-road. There's fishing, there's semi-truck drivers, there's welders, there's a lot of different styles of shirts that are in there that are kind of have different themes, not just off-roading themes. And it's extra small to 4XL. So it was really, really important to me when I was building this that we all had the opportunity to feel successful. We all had the opportunity to fit. And so Ladies Offroad Network and I'm Not Just a Girl go all the way up to 4XL. I think that that's really special and important. But right now, if you go to the store, you have a 50% off code. So you have a 50% off code for I'm Not Just a Girl, and it is INJAG. I'm Not Just a Girl, and then 15. Super simple. If somebody wants to type it in the chat, that would be amazing. Maybe I could type it in the chat. How about that? That's even better idea. Girl 15. Boop. There you go. And that right there is 50% off I'm Not Just a Girl. So if you haven't checked it out before, appreciate it. Just go look at it. There's some things that are definitely not available in those medium, large sizes, but we have a lot of the wing sizes and the bigger sizes and smaller sizes available in most every single design still. So do take a minute, go utilize that 50% off code. That's me just saying like, okay, gots to go. And that code is only available until Thursday. Thursday is our day, cutting it off, tying it up, and really it's going to be Thursday morning. So I want to be able to ship these out, get this stuff out. Let's stay focused. Today is Tuesday night. You got Tuesday night, Wednesday. Let's get that out. Let's get it done. Let me get that shipped out to you and carrying on. All right, so Mother's Day shopping list. Amazon shoppers, my friends, make sure you go to our Bauer Media store website, 50% off, offroadexposed.shop. And then we run into the other thing that you can get, mom, aka yourself, is commit to the 10-year party, June 12th to 14th. We're going to come back to that in a minute because I want to go into our lesson. And so I'm going to drop this banner. We're going to hide that. We're going to go away. We're going to come back to our calendar in a second. But I really want to deep dive in with you on one of my favorite topics, 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, and lockers. Okay? So I want you guys to engage with me. We're going to have you like type in here a couple times. But first of all, who has seen me do this presentation before? So I have, right? Because you're going to be the ones that like refresher course. And if you haven't, no stress. This is the first time you're hearing it. It's probably one of the more difficult topics that we ever talk about. And I'm going to deep dive even further. So here it is, kind of fast, kind of furious. And I really failed because the Jeep is in the Jeep. Oops. So with that being said, we're going to have to go with tires being placed in random spots instead of me actually having my Jeep right here. So two-wheel drive in a off-road vehicle for the most part is rear wheel drive. So you have 2 tires in the front, 2 tires in the rear. Two-wheel drive, most all off-road vehicles have rear wheel drive. If you have a little car and you've heard of I have front wheel drive, that means that the power is going to the 2 tires in the front and the rears just follow. If it's rear wheel drive, the power goes to the rear and it pushes the car along, right? Like the fronts are in front of it. And so the rear pushes across. All right, cool. So 4-wheel drive is when you push your button, turn your knob, pull your lever, whatever it happens to be. And now we have power to all 4. We have power to the front and we have power to the rear. Anybody? Come on. What are the 2 bars in the middle that push the power? So we have a transfer case and we have, yes, nice job, drive shafts. All right. So we have power from our transfer case to our drive shafts out to our front axles, rear axles, front diff, rear diff, which puts power out to our 4 wheels and tires, right? 4-wheel drive. That's great. Until we lose traction on one of those tires. So let's just say, I'm going to use my phone for lack of better things at the moment. So let's say we're going along and all of a sudden this tire lifts off the ground and we lose traction. Well, we don't have the opportunity to be successful in 4-wheel drive because this tire all of a sudden is saying, the computer says, oh, it needs as much help as it can possibly get. So it sends all the power to the path of least resistance, the tire that's up in the air, when we need it to go to the tire that has the traction. All right, so four-wheel drive is actually what we consider three-wheel drive. Yeah, right? So four-wheel drive is great as long as we have traction on all four, but as soon as we lose traction on one of the tires, this tire gets the power and the other one that is across from it does not. And so therefore we have two in the rear and one up here that is just flailing. Four-wheel drive is actually three-wheel drive, which then we insert lockers. I'm going to come back to lockers in a second. I'm going to stick with four-wheel drive because four-wheel drive also has a few different topics to it as well. We have part-time four-wheel drive, which is what is considered two high, and four low. We also have this weird button nowadays that's called full-time four-wheel drive. We're seeing that even in Jeeps. And this is a consideration of all-wheel drive. So there's a center lock. We'll come back to what a center lock means in a second. So some Jeeps even are having the opportunity to see what's called full-time four-wheel drive versus part-time four-wheel drive. Full-time four-wheel drive puts a center lock on. It kind of creates an all-wheel drive system. I'm going to come back to all-wheel drive in a minute. All these words, right? They're all crazy. And then, but what we're going to stay with is our part-time four-wheel drive. This is what everybody is so familiar with. Two high, four low. So what does four high mean? Four high means that we have power to all four tires and we can go at a decent speed. Like you're going to feel the RPMs come up, which means the gear reduction ratio is happening. You're going to feel a little more torque in there, but you can still go on the faster side. Every vehicle has its own limit for what that means. Then we have four low. Four low means we have even more low range. We have more gear reduction. We have more torque. It's very much built for low speed so that we can crawl up these different obstacles. It helps us go slower, which is what we want as we're going up and down things. So that's a four high and four low difference. As we go slower, as we want to make sure that we can operate at a speed and with the correct torque for what obstacle we're coming into, we connect with four low. If four high makes more sense because we're going faster, all we really want is to make sure that we have power on all four tires, then we can stick with four high. So that's the fun part. Part-time four-wheel drive. Everybody good with that? Let's throw some hearts, thumbs up, got it, whatever you got. I'm watching the comments, so let's make sure that we got that far. Four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, power to the front or power to the rear. Most all of our off-road vehicles are rears. And then we have four-wheel drive, power to all four, right? Part-time four-wheel drive is our normal. It's what we are used to. It's the selectable, two high, four low. We do have now what's called a full-time four-wheel drive, which is actually a center lock with all-wheel drive, turning into all-wheel drive. But four-wheel drive is truthfully only three-wheel drive the minute that we lose traction on one of those tires. It creates a power to the least resistance. So that's when we start inserting lockers. Lockers are like a dowel pin. So we're going to have lockers that come in, and those lockers are going to allow the power to be delivered to both tires at the same time. So think of it as a straw. I'm looking at my water bottle all the way over there. So think of it as a straw. Now that straw has to turn together. Where normally these axles turn at a different rate of speed. Think about turning around a corner. A locker creates a locked environment for those two axles where they must turn together. So in that instance where this one loses traction and we turned into three-wheel drive, if we have lockers between these two tires, now we have an opportunity for those two to stay together. And regardless if you have traction here or not, both of these tires will be spinning. So it's kind of fun when you're out and you're on a trail and somebody's tire is just spinning up in the air and somebody's like, bro, you got lockers? And you're like, how do they even know? What does that even mean? What's happening right now? That's what it means. When that tire is just spinning, there's no lockers connecting those two together. I'm going to come back around in a second and talk about the different styles of lockers, but now we're going to jump ship and we're going to go over to all-wheel drive. So we have the four-wheel drive systems and all of those vehicles. Now we have all-wheel drive. This is a really intriguing group of vehicles that's happening right now. Anybody have all-wheel drive that's on tonight? All-wheel drive? Or what do you have? Four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive? Type it into the comments real quick. All-wheel drive is where the computer's working for us. So it doesn't necessarily have just power to the rear or just power to the front. It has power to all four, right? And the computer is like constant all over the place where it's like, okay, this one needs it. This one needs, 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 this one needs. And so it's constantly throwing power at exactly the right content, at exactly the right speed to each one of the different sides, where now you have this amazing vehicle that has traction all the time. Well, until you don't. Again. So it's still not a perfect system. All-wheel drive is computer oriented. It helps where it's like, okay, it's going to all four, going to all four. But as soon as that tire starts to slip too much or that tire gets up in the air, we fall back into the same issues that we were having before with true four-wheel drive. So a little bit of slippage, that computer is saying, send it, send it, send it. We're starting to have some issues, but then a lot of slippage or it lifts and we're back right into the same situation that we were before. So it's still not perfect, right? By any means. Insert, though, what all-wheel drive folks have is what's called a center lock. And this is a fun thing to look at now. So these center locks kind of turn a all-wheel drive vehicle into a four-wheel drive vehicle. So if you have an all-wheel drive vehicle and it's constantly sending power to the fronts and the rears, then you hit your center lock button. What that is doing is it is now saying, okay, 50-50 split. And it's connecting, think about something in the center, it's connecting the fronts and rears together. And so it's not like lockers. Lockers connect the two axles together, the two tires together. A center lock, you have to think of it as it connects the front and the rear together. All right. And so a center lock in an all-wheel drive vehicle is a definite step up towards four-wheel drive. Now, true four-wheel drive is what? What does it need? True four-wheel drive is four-wheel drive, four low, engaged with your front locker and your rear locker engaged, right? So if you think about that, and we talk about this in the system of two-wheel drive, four high, four low, rear locker, front locker. Now we go out and now we have all-wheel drive. So two-wheel drive, then there would be like all-wheel drive would fit right here. And then what we have four high, and that's probably like where center lock is in the all-wheel drive system. So I'm working on all these graphs right now for you guys because we're putting this new program together and I'm so excited about it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. And so I've been putting these graphs together, like, and putting that all-wheel drive into lane with what a four-wheel drive looks like. And then here's that center lock. So center lock is like your four high, if you want to think about it in those ways. Turns into four-wheel drive, but it is not your axle lockers. So an all-wheel drive vehicle can have lockers. An example of that would be the Land Rover. So a Land Rover has all-wheel drive, it has a center lock, and it has a rear locker, right? I just saw Hannah on. She just popped through in the chat. I saw that. She has the same exact thing in her Lexus. So you have your all-wheel drive plus your center lock plus your rear lockers. So I want you to start thinking, if you can, what you got, and start typing in if you can put this all together for yourself, right? And put it into the chat. So then let's talk about lockers. So now we understand four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, four high, four low. Now I'm talking about rear lockers and front lockers. We have our all-wheel drive with our center lock, which can also have rear lockers. Most of the time it can't have fronts because, oh gosh, that's a whole nother reason why. So I'm not going to confuse anybody on the why. And so now let's stick with lockers. So lockers, you can have an open differential. This is where all these words come in. Diff, differential, pumpkin, right? So you can have an open diff. And what that means is you have no locker, no nothing in there, my friends. Your axles spin naturally. They have spider gears in there. They spin naturally, but there's no lockers. There's nothing that's going to hold those babies together. That's an open differential. So if you're a Jeep, as an easy one to say, and you have no locker, you have no locker. That's fair. You're an open diff. The power will go to least resistance, which will be that tire that's up off the ground, and it's trying to find some traction. Then we have what's called true lockers. This is where both wheels come together. It's what I've been talking about, where you have like a dowel pin in between. It's an electric locker, an e-locker, or an air locker, which would be something like ARB or Yukon produces those. So electric or air, and they're selectable, or you can have non-selectable. So selectable lockers mean that you have a button inside, one of your aux buttons, and you're like rear locker, front locker. If you have air, you have to turn your air on. I'm doing this because this is how mine are. My air button's up there and my locker buttons are down here. So your buttons can be wherever they are, right? So you turn your air on, and then you turn your rear locker on, and then if you need it, your front locker. That's true lockers, pushing them together. Selectable. Non-selectable lockers, auto lockers, would be something like a mechanical locker or a lunchbox locker. You would hear either one of those. That's like torque lockers, right? So these are our auto locks where they lock under load. So they're going to lock the axle if they feel like there's a load that's happening, but then automatically unlock as you're trying to make a turn. They make noise, but you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about when you need to use your locker in this type of a situation. So it just kind of auto locks when it needs it, and then it unlocks and allows you to make turns or allows you to drive naturally. There's also what's called the limited slip differential. The limited slip differential will give you power. It'll lock and throw power to both tires when it's needed, when one lifts. But again, it's like naturally doing it itself. So it's making choices of when it wants to lock. The only time you have a true locker is when you're auto selected, right? When you press that button. So that's the ticket, or everybody has their own opinion. I can't say that's the ticket. Everybody has their own opinion, but that's the lockest of the lockest because you control it, right? And then there's what we call brake-based lockers. These are called cheat lockers or fake lockers potentially, but some of them, like the all-wheel drive system, like that's actually how they create their locker, is by using the ABS. And so the ABS, when you're touching your brake, or when that tire gets up off the ground and you have all-wheel drive with a locker, the ABS actually tries to trick it and fake it, like, oh, wait, we need to put power in here. And so then it'll throw power to it. Some people that don't have lockers, I've taught you in the past when we've been out on the trail, like, hey, here's how you create fake lockers. You just kind of drag your rear brake. So there's an idea there that's a drive style that I can teach you at some point. So that is your brake-based. And then we come back around to the center lock because I don't want anybody to get confused. Like this lock word, right? Lockers, center lock. So center lock again is connecting the front to the rear, but your lockers are about connecting your two tires, your axle to axle, not your front to rear, your side to side. All right. Um, yeah, how are we doing? Are you doing good? I see some people here. Air lockers, awesome. 4-wheel, 4 high, 4 low with lockers, awesome. Um, you have that all-wheel drive. All right. So now that you guys kind of think through it, Forerunner, what does Hillary say? Forerunner has a fancy buttons and a rear locker. The fancy buttons switch to crawl modes. Yeah, so the modes is a whole different story. I'll get there in 1 second. In fact, we'll bonus line with the modes in a second, Hillary. So you guys, are you typing in what you have on your vehicle? What kind of 4-wheel drive? Are you all-wheel drive with a center lock with a locker? Are you a full-wheel drive with lockers? What kind of lockers do you have? Are you a 4-wheel drive with no lockers? It's fine, doesn't matter. Like you type in what you got. Tacoma 4-wheel drive open diffs. Cool. All right, right on. So your max traction, if we're going out there, we need the most amount of traction possible. That is that 4-wheel drive system with true lockers, right? Front and rear. We want selectable, gives you the most control to make sure that you have lockers. But just right after that is that auto lockers, the mechanical lockers, limited slip, where it's doing it for you. All right. The next layer down of having traction, I guess would be the way to put it, is your enhanced lockers. So that's your limited slip and your center diff, right? For the center diff folks and the ARBs, that's where you guys are coming in. And then basic traction, that's just us going out with either our all-wheel drive vehicle or a four-wheel drive vehicle. We have an open diff, or we have the brakes, the ABS brake system working for us, or we know how to create those fake lockers with our drive style of locking. So lots going on. 4-wheel drive with center, diff, and rear. There's Hannah, perfect. Jeep has front lockers and limited slip rear. And the Kia has all-wheel drive with the center lock from Jesse. Awesome. Joanna, 4-wheel drive, front and rear, electric. So you have e-lockers. E-lockers, if you have a challenge with your lockers at some point, step number 1 is look for a fuse, right? Step number 1 is look for a fuse. And Hillary, 4 high, 4 low, manual shift. Right on, you guys. Okay, so there was something that came up. Hillary said that she has a bunch of buttons, right? And you can go into crawl mode. You can go into all these modes. That is definitely a conversation. So Broncos have them too. It's called the GOAT modes. It's super fun. And what those are, and every vehicle is different. Not prepped at this exact moment to like go into every single vehicle and here's what's happening in each one. I can talk on the Bronco level, and then you can convert it over to yours. Is like Bronco has like 8 different levels. So there's the GOAT modes, and there's rock crawling, and there's Baja, and there's snow and mud, and I don't know, some other cool traction names, right? Essentially what happens is all of these vehicles nowadays are so electronic, so electronic and so computer oriented that the computer has the control over the suspension system, and the computer has the control over how much fuel goes in and how much air gets put through. And the computer has control. Yeah, that's oil. That's not weird, is it? And the computer has control over what is happening with the RPM systems and everything else. And so in the Bronco system, it has about 32 things, 32 different items that it has the ability to adjust. And so if you're in rock crawl mode, you put it into rock crawl mode, it's automatically going to adjust 32 electrical items that then say, okay, we're going to increase the suspension rate. We're going to lower raise the RPMs. We're going to gear reduction way high. We're going to get it to where there's way more torque in the RPM range. we're going to do this to this, we're going to do that to that. And in Baja mode, it's completely different. And so that's where it's like changing all of these things in the electronic side. You can press 2 or 3 buttons. You can put in 4-wheel drive. You can select your lockers. You can select, 3 or 4 things, but your modes are changing it at the electronic level, things that you can't even touch. So what I really encourage people to do is use them. These engineers, these people, they spent a lot of time perfecting what that means and how it gives you a better ride in that particular instance. And so use them, go out and have fun with them, go out and understand, like, oh, I get it now. I can totally feel that the suspension has totally changed. I can totally feel that the RPM level has totally changed, right? Like, start thinking about all of these different things that are happening and how that can be productive and help you have more fun out while we're off-roading. You guys, we do this stuff for fun. Remember, at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's so we can go out and have a good time, go out, be relaxed, have an enjoying experience, check out some new trees and mountaintops and etc. And all of these systems that these vehicles have built and what we're doing with this Trail Ready program is so that you can go have a more enjoyable time. So figure out what that mode means to you, how it helps you be more fun, more enjoyable, more confident while you're out there, and then start using it. Understand which one you like and go for it. All right. I love this. All right. So many options. Yes. 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 You attend a training. Yeah. Attend trainings. Exactly. Dana, 4-wheel drive, center lock with rear lockers on this Lexi. Yeah. All right. Everybody's having fun. Hello, Cheryl. Awesome. Oh, I love it. Hannah blew her husband out of the water with all of her info. I love it. I took my hubby out for the first time Sunday. He was so impressed, had no idea about all the information you taught us at one of your classes. So yay! Everybody throw Hannah a heart. I love it. We are live on multiple platforms. So if you did not necessarily see that comment where you are, that's because she's over on YouTube. You might be on Facebook. You might be on Instagram. You might be somewhere else. We're on multiple platforms right now streaming. And I'm the lucky one that gets to see all the comments. And I have them trying to come up where you see them all. But I'm not certain that works. So I just wanted to read that. And yes, let's all give everybody a heart for Hannah. So that is our fast and furious lesson. If you have done the 4-wheel drive class with me before, like actually hands-on, then we dive in way deeper of how that actually works. But I wanted to get in tonight with our May Trail Ready class of here's the pro tips. You are way smarter than so many people right now just by understanding 2-wheel drive, 4 high, drive, 4 high, 4 low, rear locker, front locker, right? And then we have all-wheel drive, center lock, and then your rear locker. Most all-wheel drives don't have front lockers because they're A-arm suspensions, independent front suspensions. So that's a whole different class. We're not going there. And then we have our different lockers. So you have your open diff. You have your, what's our next one? Open diff, and then you have your true locker, and then you have your mechanical locker or your lunchbox locker, your auto locking, your limited slip differential, your brake-based lockers, and then of course, confusing but completely different is your center lock. So need to start bringing up center lock more often. That's happening quite a bit, and so that word is going to be confusing to a lot of folks as you understand how all this system is going together for you. And then all the modes, right? All the modes, play with them. That's not anything to do with this topic, but it's a bonus moment that was brought up. So, yes, make sure that you guys are playing with all your modes, play with all your buttons, do it in an environment where you're out there having a good time and can control the environment. Like you're not in a nervous situation, you're not on some huge adventure, you're not out with a group for the very first time, whatever. Like take yourself into a controlled environment, start playing with your buttons. And hopefully, if you want to come to one of our events, that is an amazing opportunity to do that. All right, so there is the class. Backing up really fast for those of you that joined us a little bit later, we started off with Mother's Day shopping list. It's the Mother's Day month, and of course, Father's Day and everybody else. Look, we just like to shop all the time. So I've been asked to start building lists on Amazon for folks, and I started with there's many of them on there already, but the most recent one that I did was last week. I put one together that says Mother's Day 2026, and you can hit this link, amazon.com shop /Bauer Media, or if you've gotten our emails, if you're on our email list, you have the direct link into that folder. It's pretty fun. Like it has a torque wrench in there. It has a tortilla blanket. Like it has all kinds of things. It has a mop in there. You guys, I hate mopping with a passion, and this mop is a game changer for me. I know it sounds super silly, but it's true. So we'll talk about the mop later. And then you can go to our store, offroadexposed.shop. Right now we have I'm Not Just a Girl. My clothing line is 50% off as we celebrate the 15th year of I'm Not Just a Girl, which is incredible. And so here is the coupon code you need to use. I'm Not Just a Girl, INJAG15, and that gets you 50% off. It's only good through Thursday, which really means tonight and tomorrow, because I need to get those shipped out and get those on the road before Thursday. So let's take advantage of that opportunity tonight if you haven't checked it out before. And then I talked about and just kind of teased really fast about the other great thing that you could buy is the 10-year party, because we love to party, right? Who's coming to the party? Who's already party? All right, so if you haven't already checked it out, ladiesoffroadnetwork.com, we did do a rollover of the homepage. So we went from our spring stuff into our summer stuff, and I even have a save the date there for fall still. Hopefully by next week, we will have, next month in June when we come live, you'll have all of your fall information already listed, but the save the date has been out there. Ladies, these dates have been out here since December. If you're just hearing about them or just saying, well, it's so soon, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. You've had the date since December. So the 10-year party, June 12th to 14th, it is going to be so much fun. So first on Friday, June 12th, we're having a morning 5-hour class. So from 9 to 2, if you have not taken our 5-hour class, if you need a refresher course, you're coming anyways, all of the words, I'm doing something in the morning from 9 to 2. It will include lunch, and I'm doing the class. So if you haven't had the opportunity, if you need a refresher, this is your opportunity to just like take advantage of that time and do it to it. The rest of the event can't come in until 3 o'clock. Okay, so that's how we're playing this. In the morning, we're doing a 5-hour class and full tilt, learn, go. And then at 3 o'clock, we open the gates, the floodgates for everybody to come in for the 10-year party. And we're not in the education zone. I say that, and it's so hard for me to say that, because I know at some point we're gonna learn things. like I can't say, oh yeah, we're just gonna hang out and do nothing, because that's not true. We're gonna be doing a ton of cool things, and I can't say that they're all like rock painting, which of course that's one of the things that we're gonna do. But why do we rock paint? We rock paint so that we can go use Onyx and learn how to find things. Like, so So there's like this catch 22 of me saying, yeah, it's just a fun hangout weekend. We're not going to learn anything. And at the same time, I'm at the other hand, like, oh, we're totally going to learn stuff, or we're going to reinforce what we've learned along the way through all the little games and cool, fun things that we're going to do. But that is not our main reason. How about that? How about we put it that way? So it's not like that 5-hour class where I'm smashing your brain with information for 5 hours. The rest of the weekend is like casual, fun, enjoyable. Holy cow, it's been 10 years. Holy cow, let's get everybody together and have a great time. Your laugh lines, yeah, work on the cheeks. You got a month because these laugh lines are going to be hardy. And bringing back some of the stuff that we have done at our events over the last 10 years that have created some of the funniest laughs, like barrel rolling highlights. Yes, we are racing. If you know what I mean. If you know, you know. You just put it in there. IYKNK. Is that what it is? If you know, you know. Anyways, you know what letters you're supposed to put in. So if you know, you know, on racing, right? Like it is going to be a ton of fun. So Friday when you get there, not stressful. We're setting up camps. We're getting everybody together. We got some icebreaker stuff to do. We're doing cool stuff. Kind of like the convention back in the day when everybody just showed up. We got some cool, fun things to do. Dinner, of course, is going to be amazing. And then we have some kind of structured stuff for the evening because I want to do some highlight reels of the 10 years. And we have Friday night and Saturday night to do that. But we'll also have the campfires out and we'll be hanging out and just enjoying each other and the moments that we've put ourselves together. So that is on Friday night. Saturday morning, we're going to wake up, have some continental breakfast, fast breakfast, and then we're off to have a little adventure. Now, I will tell you straight up, do not make it an excuse to not come because you don't have an off-road vehicle. You 100% do not need a vehicle, period. Okay? That's not what this event's about. This is a hangout. This is a have fun. This is a togetherness. But I also know that we're off-road people. And so I also know that some of you will bring your off-road vehicle. And if you got it, well, we should go do something fun, right? So I will have a self-guided, we're not guiding you, we're not going on trail rides, we're not doing anything, you're on your own type thing, a self opportunity to go do a little hunt, shall we say? Right? So you can go out and do some things like that. I'm going to be in the morning. They have at Hollister, they have like this area that you can come and play in the rocks in. And so I'm going to be in that area. So we can, and you can technically walk there, but we'll have shuttles that if you don't have a vehicle, you can get up there, a 2-wheel drive, not a slow rider rental car, but a 2-wheel drive vehicle can get out there with no issue at all. And so we'll all just kind of hang out there and have some fun in the morning and goof around. And so that'll be like our morning time. So there's a little off-roady, have some fun, do some things, but that is not the core to it. So I just really want to make sure that people are not hauling a vehicle across state lines thinking that that's what you need in order to be successful. You're just going to be frustrated, if anything. Like, I drove this all the way here and I didn't need it. Yep, that's what I was telling you from the beginning. So just understand that. Take a deep breath on your plans. Make it simple. Make it easy on yourself. Get there. Get there. That's the conversation. All right. So then we have lunch because this is how we do our itineraries is we eat. And then in the afternoon, oh my gosh, we have this list of things to accomplish, to do, to laugh, to have fun. All the bits and pieces that go hand in hand to it. So I have like a series of things. you do you engage as you want to, and have yeah, yeah, yeah. No lack of laughing here, my friends. And so that will be in our afternoon, which will turn into dinner time and then our evening activities. Sunday's a casual morning, or I could turn it into something more aggressive. I haven't quite figured that out yet. I'm right on the edge of how that's going to work out. So stay tuned. But by about 11, 12 o'clock on Sunday, you are out of there. So it's not like we're hanging out all day Sunday. It's a morning activity, and then you guys are loading up and rolling out. Meaning, I'm also giving you guys really some great opportunity here to get your travel in, right? Without taking a whole bunch of days off. I understand it. I appreciate it. I want you to take days off when it's important for you to take days off. So this is like a take a Friday off type thing, but you don't need to take much more than that off. So you're there Friday at 3 o'clock-ish, right in that zone. And the 3 o'clock, closer to 3 you can be, the better, right? You don't want to be super late because you'll miss some of that evening stuff, late afternoon stuff. So you have all morning to travel, and then you're out of there by 11, 12 o'clock on Sunday. So you have all afternoon to travel. And I built it very specifically like that so that you're not in a position where you feel like you're having to take multiple days off, that it's costing a lot, etc. And you're not missing anything by me also putting those guardrails in on the time. And I want you to be a part of all of it. So huge hearts. That is the outline for the party on June 12th to the 14th. If you have not signed up yet, the price is going up on Thursday. Thursday's kind of a big day for me right now. Can you tell? Yeah. She's going to go back out on the road. So Thursday, everything is happening. Well, it's kind of Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Got to get this taken care of before Thursday, my friends, or else the price is going to go up. So it's ladiesoffroadnetwork.com. You'll see it right there, 10-year party. It's a huge thing. It says 10-year party. All right. What is not up there at this exact moment, but will be tomorrow, is the registration for Friday, June 12th, that 5-hour class. So we just locked and loaded that in for sure. And so that is going to go up. So you can keep popping back onto ladiesoffroadnetwork.com and you'll get an email about it as well. Right after that is the 10-year party, 10-year adventure. This is the last call. Last call for the 10-year adventure. It is 10 days or 5 days. It has been available since December for you to register, and this is it. So you have until Thursday in order to get your name on the list, be committed, and be a part of it. If you have any questions about that, it's a big investment. I get it. It's a trip of a lifetime. I get it. Give me a call. Give me some information. Let's get you what you need to be able to do that. You need to message me directly at this point, and I will help you set that up to your best advantage. All right. So if you are interested in that, you need to contact me directly. And I have an email thingy here. Look how cool I am. Well, some days. Nope. Not cool. I don't have it. Okay. So here, I'll put it in the comments. Charlene at BauerMediaBrands.com. Okay. There, it's in the comments. So that's my email address. So you can say, I want to do the adventure. What's going on with the adventure? Last call. Locking it down. That means you have today, tomorrow. That's it. Okay, that's the plan there. And then, okay, next, very exciting. Also, you can go to ladiesoffroadnetwork.com in order to get here is the Nomad Rally registration is also coming to a close. So everything is happening in June, right? Like we have these different deadlines, and all of a sudden, how is it June? It is already June, my friends. So June 8th is the start of the Nomad Rally. And so you must register ahead of that, right? So you have right now until then, June 8th, in order to register for the Nomad Rally. What is it? It is so cool. So it is not a Ladies Offroad Network program. I am supporting Joe Marie and I'm supporting the Nomad Rally with the program that she's doing for the last few years. We used to do this as part of our challenge. It's similar but very different from the challenge that Ladies Offroad Network used to do. And so now it's called the Nomad Rally, Nomad Overland Rally, which is what Joe Marie hosts. It is so fun. So if you're doing any of the adventures with me over the summer, if you're doing anything outside of your box, if you need that push to get outside of your box, this is the way to do it. I've done the Nomad Rally a couple years, and the first year I was like slightly competitive and all in, right? And so I was doing all of the different there's like 5 different layers to it. It can feel very intense, and then afterwards you're like, holy cow, I just did a lot, I learned a lot, and that was really rad. And then the second year I'm like, okay, I can't do all of that, but I really enjoyed doing this one section. I really enjoyed doing that one section. So I'm still going to register, and I'm going to give myself grace on doing the entire thing, and I'm just going to do this one section of it. Well, of course, that doesn't happen because I'm competitive. And so the one section turned into like 5 sections. Not really, but yeah. Anyways, so you can pick and choose. You do not have to do all in. Like, you don't have to do everything. You can do bits and pieces of it. You can do the best you can. You can say, I just want to do the scavenger hunt because that was my part. It was so fun. It's so fun. You can just do like the little quizzes because you can't even leave the house. You got something going on where you can't leave the house, but you still want to be engaged and you still want to learn something. So you just do like the quiz side of it. There's so many different ways to get yourself engaged in that Nomad Rally. And the registration is right now. So it has been open for a while. It is right now. It starts on June 8th, and you have till August 16th to submit everything. So it's like, what is that, 10 weeks? 10 weeks to get everything done. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So again, you can go to ladiesoffroadnetwork.com. Right there at the top, you'll see the image for the Nomad Rally. It'll take you to my little story about, what I just said. And this video will be there. And it will say, hey, this is the Nomad Rally. This is what you want to be a part of. And then it'll click you off to Joe Marie's website. And that's where you register. You work through her on everything with that. She's really up-leveled some of the spaces. And so I'm excited for this whole thing this year. Is anybody doing Nomad Rally? Say yes, yes, yes. Throw a heart, whatever you want to do. If you've done it before, doing it now. Yeah, super fun. And then the last thing I have on my list as far as the website rollover goes is I did again put up on there the Trail Ready Camp fall dates, and it's still as a save the dates. The only reason is we know what we're doing. We know the dates. We just don't know the where. And the where I'm getting closer to. I know. It might actually come as a big surprise to everybody where it is. So the fall dates, we have September 16th to the 18th, 16th to the 18th. That's the Wednesday to Friday. And then I have September 21st to the 23rd, which is Monday to Wednesday. And then I have that weekend in there. And I have some ideas for the weekend too. So that's what I've been playing with also. So September 16th to the 23rd, just kind of depending on how I structure that, just keep those dates in flux. And we'll be able to help you be successful, learn all this stuff, get your hands on, and a lot more going on there. So, and by September, we should have even more stuff available for you. I'm so excited. Yes, I've been working a lot in the background. So very, very, very cool things happening here at Ladies Offroad Network and Bauer Media Brands across the board. So if you guys have any questions, we're going to jump over now to our Google Meets, and I will grab you the link, or if somebody else has the link that you can pop in easily, but I will grab you the link right now so that you can jump into Google Meets. this is where we get to hang out. This is where we get to chat it out. You can ask me questions, like if you have things going on. If you don't know what you don't know, is what I always talk about too. Like, if you don't have a question, it's no big deal. You can come anyways because you don't know what you don't know. And so here is Google Meets link. There you go. You have it in your email. It's also on our website, but there it is. So you can click right into it from where you're joining us online, and we will go over there in 1 second. We'll hang out. I'll ask more questions or answer any questions that you have, and expand on anything that might be important to you. And then, yeah, a heck of a hangout tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Make sure that you go back if you need to. We started off with shopping, of course. And we have the Mother's Day shopping list up on Amazon. We have a lot of Amazon lists up there, but the one that I focused on right now is for Mother's Day. We'll have a Father's Day one coming up too. Graduation. You know what? That graduation one wouldn't be such a bad idea. I'm buying a couple of the boys in Ryan's class some torque wrenches for graduation. Like, I thought that was a good idea. So, right? Good ideas. Also on our website, 50% off of I'm Not Just a Girl. Trail ready. What does it mean? Committed to learning and confidence. Oh my gosh. Can everybody throw a heart really fast? Hopefully you haven't left yet. Throw a heart. Thank you so much. So much for your participation in helping with that survey that went out this last month. It didn't go backwards. This about what happened from April to May. Like, how did April go so fast? Right? But one of the things that did happen is I put a survey together, and that was so cool that you guys participated in that. And I hate to brag, but the answers came out exactly how I thought they were going to, which really made me feel good too, that I've been able to keep my thumb on the pulse to understand what you guys want and what's happening out there. So thank you so much for that. I so appreciate your time and energy. Yes, we are continuing barreling down this path that I've been barreling down with no second guesses, because you pretty much told us that we were on the right path. And so it's so rad. And then, gosh, we had an amazing spring skills camp with Trail Ready Camp. So a few of the ladies that are on right now are with us. It was such a great experience. So many laughable moments, so many exciting moments, so many aha moments. Like, yeah, some neat stuff there. And then we did our Trail Ready 2-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive versus 4-wheel drive in lockers, in center lock, and where power meets the floor, what it is and when to use it. And then our website rollover and how it's looking now and all of the opportunities that you have. So great times, good stuff. I am going to shut this down. Here is the link to Google Meets one last time, so you have it right now. And then there it is. Oops, something happened. All right, there it is. One last time. And I will see you over there. All right, you guys. Have a good rest of your night if I don't see you at Google Meets. Otherwise, we'll chat in a second.